CJ, it's all good. 28 months. My God. Let's go. Thanks for the love sign. Aw. 28 months. Let's go, dude. It's all good, dude. Do your thing. Enjoy. I guess I haven't thought about it enough to revise my theories. Okay, so time doesn't decrease during the non-stop debate. Huh. Increases the speed of memorizing a statement. Yes. Focus gauge decreases at a slower rate. Let's get that too. Okay, that's all that I got. Eric, what's going on, dude? Yeah, so far, I guess I didn't really spend that much time thinking about it. I kind of thought about it a little bit last night, and then I went to bed, and then I didn't think about it at all today. I was kind of busy at work, so I didn't really think about it today. What's your theory? My main theory is that Strawberry House and Grape House aren't two separate buildings connected by a central pillar. My theory is that they're actually two buildings stacked on top of each other. So one, like instead of being like this, where the elevator is down here, it's like this. Which is why the elevator has to go 180 degrees before it can go. So that's my thought. Also, the elevator, or the elevator, the pillar, the main central pillar area, the main tower that changes colors depending on which way you come into it, is actually like a tall pillar that goes up and down, which is why you can enter from the same way both times, and the crime scene is exactly the same, unless it's like spinning in some way, but that doesn't make sense. So, I have an idea with that. I have a couple of theories, but I feel like I'm just not gonna be able to figure out what's going on. Like I don't know who killed who. You know what I mean? So far, my prime suspect is Chiaki, because not only does Chiaki hate alarm clocks, right? She dislikes alarm clocks a lot. So we were about to go into the final dead room, and Chiaki stopped us and said, like, you know, like, what are you doing? Don't go in there, right? Like, there are no exits in there. You know, you'll risk your life, and at the end, you'll only get a weapon. What are you going to do with the weapon? Are you planning on killing somebody? You're probably not, right? And I was like, no, I'm not planning on killing anybody, right? And she says, like, you know, there's no reason to go in there. You know, it's dangerous, and they already think you're a traitor. So, like, don't even think about going in there. Like, it's not worth it. Let's just go back, right? So, for the fact that Chiaki wants to stop me from going in there is a little suspicious, because, like, if it was a coincidence, I wouldn't think about it. But it's just like the fact that Chiaki is like, she's a gamer. So my thought is that she probably already played the game right? She already went through the game and has gone through the other side, right? And so she has the knowledge of everything, and so she knows what's going on, and she doesn't want me to know, because that would mean that I would be able to solve the case, right? So I don't want to think it's actually Chiaki. I will not be surprised if it's not. If it's not Chiaki, and it's like I'm just being paranoid at this point, then that's totally fair, and I understand, right? Not even surprised by that. My second suspect is Fuyuhiko. Oops, there we go. The second suspect is Fuyuhiko. The fact that he's already awake at 5 a.m. and the fact that he saw Nekomaru going downstairs, and he was the first to the alarm clock and all that. Like, he just happens to be in the right place at the right time, you know? Yeah, I really like mysteries, so I like working things out. It's like a puzzle. So I can just see the game throwing things at me, and I'm already like coming up with ideas for how I'm going to respond. But so, anyways, Fuyuhiko's a potential second suspect, only because he has some involvement in the story. But again, I don't really think that it's him. He just kind of has like more. There's like more, not evidence per se. There's more like circumstance surrounding him. So that's why I'm kind of I have him a little higher up on the suspect list. And then for third, it's really tied between Gundam, Kazuichi, and Sonya. I don't think Akane did it. Akane actually loves Nekomaru and seemed really just really beat up about his death, and the fact that she's really dumb. Like, I really don't think she has any brains to like pull off a stunt like this. So I don't think Akane pulled it off. So she gets a pass because of that. And I also don't think Nagito did it. So mainly because we played as Nagito and we saw Nagito beat the thing for the first time, right? So as much as I don't like him, I don't think Nagito did it, and I know I didn't do it. AP was like, I can't believe you. Was it? No, it wasn't AP. It was Nebula. Nebula was like, you talked about everybody but yourself. I'm like, yeah, because I'm not a suspect, because I'm not the killer, right? Anyways, so don't really blame any of these. I really don't think it's Gundam or Kazuichi. I don't think it's anybody. That's the problem. That's the big problem I face, is I really don't think it's anyone. But I really don't think it's a suicide. Like, I really don't think it's a suicide. I would be hard-pressed to figure out it's a suicide. But who knows, man? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Let's fucking do it.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial.
Why Kazuichi or Gundam? Because they're literally the only other people. Not to mention a lot of the case, a lot of things are pointing to a cover-up. The elevator being broken on Grapeside, the chain link on Strawberry Door, and the broken button on the Strawberry Door on the Strawberry Hall side alludes to the killer does not want us to go, doesn't want us to know about the layout of the house, right, of the houses. They don't want us to know any of that stuff. They want us to assume that, Strawberry House was isolated and it's impossible for Strawberry House to make it to Grape House. So a lot of that just points to the fact that, here's my suspects, everybody. Well, I have 2 main suspects, and then I have 3 other people who I'm like, you guys are all kind of equally in the middle, right? I'm lukewarm on everybody, but yeah. But yeah, anyways, my idea is that there's a lot of things are pointing to it has to be Grape House, right? When I really don't think it is. And since when you complete the Russian roulette game, when you complete the escape room, you can go between both houses. Nagito has proven that you can go back and forth. So because of all that, it just makes me think that if someone was on Strawberry House, in Strawberry House, and they completed the game, they could go to either side. So that kind of removes the alibi of like only being on one side. And that's how you would get around the idea, like the assumption that if you're on, or because of all the things that happened, you know, the killer had to be from Grapeside. So it just seems like a lot of like cover up for this, but what do I know? Let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial.
During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. I'm sure you guys are starving by now, but let's get revved up and raring to go. Whoever survives will be treated to a fancy lunch. Guess what? Rabbit curry is on the menu.
Huh? I'm not the main ingredient, right?
I'm here today because Coach Nekomaru risked his life to protect me. I'm gonna be the one who avenges him. I'll definitely find out who the killer is. I'm definitely not tempted by curry. Got it?
Akane, you seem to have an impressive amount of drool flowing from your mouth.
Hey, why don't we try going over the incident?
That's right. So at some point we had mentioned, like, oh hey, everyone seems like they have different styled like X's.
Detailed understanding.
I don't know. I guess maybe it makes sense. They kind of all look the same, but now that I look at, Ibuki's, and they kind of look like drumsticks, but that could just be because they're thin lines. But I also saw Mikan's, and Mikan's look like bandages almost. Not quite, but they just look like those like fat, thick lines. We weren't able to leave Strawberry House, so I want to make sure we get a detailed understanding.
I discovered Nekomaru's body a little before 7 a.m. I headed over to Grape Tower from Monokuma Taichi and found the body there. Hajime and Chiaki were also with me.
It's just like some of them, like maybe, like you'd have to really kind of stretch. Like Pekko's doesn't look like swords. Like maybe it's like her sword bag, maybe, but it's just
Hajime
lame.
Was with Miss
Like
Sonia and Chiaki that early in the morning?
And Mahiru doesn't look anything like anything. It just looks like whatever. So that's why I'm like, there's no way that they're all like that. But they are different. It's just odd how they're different. Hajime was with Miss Sonia and Chiaki that early in the morning.
Don't tell me you three were together since last night.
Imbecile! I am not some woman with flexible legs.
What is this?
Of course you're not. You're much classier than that.
With legs like those, I could probably do the splits real easy.
We just happened to run into each other on the first floor of Grape House. We went to the tower together.
And then, the three of us discovered Nekomaru's body.
The body discovery announcement was made soon after. Akane heard that and rushed over.
You know what? Well, that's interesting. Okay. I'm curious if the killer counts towards the body discovery announcement or not. Because if it doesn't, well, I guess there could be a third that we don't know. It would almost imply that all three of us are innocent. No shaming out here.
We heard the body discovery announcement too, from Strawberry House, obviously. As I recall, we found out the elevator was out of order, which left us stuck.
So we decided to go to the tower for the time being and headed for Strawberry Hall. But someone even broke Strawberry Hall's door button. We couldn't go anywhere because of that.
Thinking we should at least find some method to communicate, we set our sights on the lounge telephone.
Forget these boring intros. Let's talk about the killer. Anyway, it's definitely someone from Strawberry House.
What do you mean, definitely?
There's no way a chick would kill someone so cruelly. So it must be one of you Strawberry House dudes.
Interesting. Interesting theory, Akane.
One of you better hurry up and confess, or I'll break all of you in half!
You're the cruelest one here!
Now I'm not so sure about Akane. Ah, God. Man, these things always make me doubt my own assumptions. Like, as soon as we get into the trial, everything changes. That's the thing I don't like. Well, I guess I do like it, but it's like, The thing I don't like about theorizing beforehand is that it feels like as soon as we get into the trial, everything changes. Akane is, like, super aggressive right now. Which, I mean, she's motivated, but at the same time, almost like to cover up.
Now, enough with the lovers' quarrel. We need to think about this seriously.
Lovers' quarrel.
We don't have the luxury of discussing irrelevant things. The incident this time has many questions.
Who doesn't love a good mystery game? Come on. Okay, the incident this time has many questions.
The incident notwithstanding, I also have many questions.
Then let's start with something even Miss Sonia can understand. The weapon. Well, the weapon is obvious, right? What the heck, you guys? The weapon! You can totally tell just by looking.
Wouldn't be much of a mystery if that were true. The only thing at the crime scene that looked like a weapon was probably... It's the hammer, come on. You're not gonna let me use it? Oh man, new looking hammer. Okay, there we go.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right. It was a surprise beating. The weapon is decided.
Like he said, it looks like that's the case, but...
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right. It was a surprise beating.
Maybe? No?
Damn it!
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there to see.
That pillar.
No, the killer used and beat the crap out of him.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right. It was a surprise beating.
Nope. Okay.
Damn it!
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat...
We're playing on medium difficulty.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right. It was a surprise beating. The weapon is decided.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
The hammer looks new. Doesn't look like it's been used at all.
No, I can't accept that hammer was the murder weapon.
There we go.
Why not? Why can't you accept it?
lot of oil was flowing from Nekomaru's body. Just like human blood, right? If the hammer was used to beat Nekomaru, you'd expect some oil to be on it at least.
But that hammer was clean. So that's why you can't accept that it's the murder weapon.
Well, yeah, but the killer might have wiped off the oil later.
Why?
Well, obviously, to make the hammer look like it's not the murder weapon.
Then why bother cleaning the oil? If they didn't want it to look suspicious, they would have discarded the hammer.
You're
Exactly.
pretty insightful, baby gangsta.
Baby gangsta? Me?
Just so you all know, I was trying to test you guys. I thought, maybe you guys mistook the hammer for the weapon or something.
It seems that was a waste of time.
Then what was the real weapon used to murder Nekomaru?
Ultimate babyface. Baby gangsta. What was the real weapon?
That's the problem. There wasn't anything else at the crime scene that looked like a potential weapon.
Then, how about we look at it from a different angle? If it doesn't have oil on it, it's not the weapon. So whatever has oil on it must be the weapon, right?
I see!
The pillar.
The only thing with oil on it is that broken pillar.
Question is, how could it be used as a murder weapon? That's like where I'm having trouble here. How could that be used as a murder weapon? The murder weapon was a giant PP.
Then that pillar is the weapon. Coach Nekomaru got clobbered with that pillar.
Bruh.
Nobody could withstand a blow from that pillar. Even if you used 100% of your muscle strength, it would be impossible to wield it as a weapon.
Why?
We tried to move it, right?
It's true. We did. Herg. It's no use. It's barely budging. Didn't I tell you?
Yeah, that pillar was pretty freaking heavy. But there's one dude who could have lifted that pillar.
Nekomaru.
Coach Nekomaru's robot body. With that dude's super strength, lifting a pillar would be real easy.
So, he lifted the pillar, and then what? Did he use it to beat himself?
You mean Neko
Also, hi, RJ.
killed
RJ.
himself?
What's going on?
Don't be stupid. He ain't the type to commit suicide.
Then even if Nekomaru could have lifted that pillar, it has nothing to do with the case at all.
Well, I guess you're right.
What the heck?
It does bother me a little. The word suicide. The fourth murder in the killing school life was apparently ruled a suicide. That shouldn't matter. There's no way Nekomaru would commit
But that's
suicide.
the problem. If it's not the pillar, then there's no other weapon we can think of.
I don't think it's a suicide, but I'm open to the possibility. I just need to know more. I just don't know more about the actual scenario where Nekomaru died. That's what I don't get. Whenever we understand how he died, I think it'll be much easier to understand the specifics around it. I'm just like, how in the world is he actually dead? Like, nothing makes sense, right? Because of the dust underneath Nekomaru's body, we can say that he died after the pillar fell. It's like, but so if he died after the pillar fell, then why is there blood all over the pillar and all that nonsense?
There may be a way to use the pillar as a weapon without lifting it.
Huh? For reals?
Yes, for reals.
I see. So my gut was right after all. All right, it's up to you, Sonia. Prove that pillar was the murder weapon.
Understood. Then I shall give it my all.
Yay! Do I recognize her voice? I feel like I should. Idane. I got this.
Sonia, here I go! There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
Yes, but it can
What about
fall.
tipping the pillar over?
Yes, what about it?
They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip
He's
it
late.
over.
Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl! I'm getting hella excited!
I might explain. We haven't really done a lot, so there's not much to explain. We mainly ruled out that the hammer is likely not the murder weapon, and it's likely the pillar, and we're trying to prove that the pillar is the thing that killed him. Because the hammer doesn't have any blood on it. It looks like it's brand new. So it just seems weird that it would be there if it wasn't. If it was the real murder weapon, like, it should have blood on it. It should look like it has, you know, scratches or something. Yeah, we just started, so. Nutty Putty Cave?
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over.
Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl! I'm getting hella excited!
It would be nice, Idane. Just playing the games a second time is like way less fun.
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond.
What about tipping the pillar over?
Nope, that's not it.
Damn it! There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his.
Even I could. Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl! I'm getting hella excited!
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was beating him with it is.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bulls.
Even I could probably. Considering the pillar's weight.
Out of the two, which is more likely the lie? Not the lie, but the contradiction. They tipped it over, or the pillar's weight. Pillar's weight isn't in question. In fact, if you could somehow tip it over, the weight would be what we want, something that would crush, right? So then it has to be tipping the pillar over. So the fact that it's so heavy it takes two people to push is rough. And the oil spills on the floor don't match up. So let's go ahead and...
Sonia! I'm getting hella
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
There's no need to lift.
If the pillar was beating him with it is.
What about tipping the pillar? They aimed right for his.
Even I could probably. Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted.
Sonia! I'm getting hella excited!
There's no need to lift.
If the pillar was beating him with it is.
What about tipping the pillar over?
Nope.
Damn it! There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over?
Nope.
Damn it! There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was beating him with it is.
What about tipping the pillar? They aimed right for his head.
Even I could probably. Considering the pillar's weight.
Nope.
Damn it! There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over, considering the pillar's weight.
Damn it!
There's no need to lift the...
If the pillar was beating him with it is...
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head.
Even I could... Considering the pillar's weight.
Damn it!
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar up? They aimed right for his...
Even I could... Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a
Sonya! I'm getting hella excited!
There's no need to lift...
If the pillar was beating him with it is...
What about tipping the pillar? They aimed right for his...
Even I could... Considering the pillar's weight.
Damn it!
There's no need to lift...
If the pillar...
This is... We will never give up!
There's no need to lift that pillar.
What do we have? We have wire. Time to loop. Good night button. Oil on the floor. Alright, tipped over pillar. The damaged area of the pillar is also stained. It was so heavy that even two people couldn't budge it. Chain. Pillar fragments.
Beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and...
Fuck
Even
you.
I could... Considering it probably exert...
Sonya! I'm getting hella excited!
There's no need to lift...
If the pillar was beating him with it is...
What about tipping the pillar over?
Nope.
Damn it!
There's no need to lift that pillar.
The thing about the pillar fragments is it doesn't prove that the pillar...
What about
Well,
tipping the pillar over? They
oh
aimed
my
right for his
god,
head and
fuck
bullseye.
you.
Even I could probably tip it over, considering that it probably exert...
Sonya! I'm getting hella excited!
There's no need to lift that...
If the pillar was beating him with it is...
What about tipping the pillar over?
There we
No,
go.
that's wrong!
Fucking bullshit answer.
If Nekomaru was crushed by the pillar, then there should have been fragments on top of his body.
Huh? Fragments?
The pillar fragments were scattered beneath Nekomaru's body, but there weren't any on top of his body. If the pillar had been tipped over and crushed him, the fragments should have been on top of his body instead.
I briefly considered that too, but it's probably not what happened.
I see. That was entirely my bad.
If they didn't tip it over, then how did the killer murder Nekomaru with that pillar?
How much longer are you gonna focus on the pillar? Just let it go already!
There's no way I can let it go. I'm positive that Nekomaru was killed by that pillar.
Why are you so certain about that?
I just have a feeling.
A feeling, huh? That's just your instincts.
But we can't say for sure that that instinct is wrong, can we? There's another way to use that pillar to kill. You guys just haven't noticed it.
Is that true?
Then I shall ask you, what way is that?
You guys, same as usual.
Fuck you, Nagito.
You're unable to clear a path to the future with your own powers. So you just stand there and falter. What a waste of talent. And you all intend to fight the Future Foundation? You make me laugh.
What did you say?
Regardless, it's not like I want to die with the rest of you. So I guess I should lend a hand.
Hey, Nagito, what the hell happened to you? How come you're not talking like a lunatic anymore?
I've learned a valuable lesson. Ignorance is by far the greatest shame.
Huh? What do you mean?
Who cares? Just tell us how the pillar was used to kill.
Well, first of all, the pillar itself is not enough. But when combined with a specific item, there's a way it could be
That's
lost.
the wire when you combine it.
Of course, the ultimate weapon.
Ultimate weapon?
Isn't that the thing you get when you clear the final dead room?
So, Nagito knows what the ultimate weapon is?
Of course I know. But I'm pretty sure everyone else has seen it, you know?
We've seen it?
That's right. You've seen it clearly. Because I, the one who has claimed dominion over evil, am the ultimate weapon.
Thank you, Gundam.
I am he who cuts the insolent catalyst, which flows out from the chaos with the sword of victory. It's only fitting that I deserve to be called the ultimate weapon.
No, you are far greater than the ultimate weapon, since you wield your 4 Dark Devas of Destruction.
Does Sony have a crush on Gundam?
I see.
I don't know why, but I'm not liking this.
Cut the bullshit and say it clearly. What is the ultimate weapon?
In order to clarify that, we first need to solve the secret of the funhouse.
Huh? The secret of the funhouse?
You're even stronger than the ultimate weapon with your 4 Dark Devas of Destruction.
Still don't realize it? Jeez, get it together.
Fuck you.
You're supposed... I forgot.
Except for Hodge.
If we make it out of this, I'll explain it to you guys.
Anyway, we must first clarify the secret of the funhouse, right? Then I think it must have something to do with the structure of the funhouse. Strawberry House leads to Strawberry Tower, and Grape House leads to Grape Tower. But in actuality, they are both the same building, and both houses are linked to the central tower. It is undeniable that such a sweet building structure is the secret of the funhouse.
Okay, what is up with Sonia? Sonia has been like acting differently. Dude, CJ with his fucking Nostradamus. It's gonna be Sonia.
Man, not only does that make perfect sense, but Miss Sonia's beautiful voice is just so soothing.
Faux show. I shall leave this matter to your discretion.
Faux show. 2 houses are connected to the tower in the middle, but I thought that was the first at 2, but I ended up finding proof. Yada yada yada. That was actually bullshit. Faux show.
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
So that's the secret of the funhouse.
Is that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors. And the designs on the floor are also different.
We've already settled this problem. Give it 10 years before you argue with Miss Sonia.
Give it 10 years? What the fuck?
In truth, Strawberry Tower are actually the exact same place.
So that's the secret of the funhouse.
Is that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors. And the designs on the floor are also different.
Alright, so what is the actual place I shoot this, right? Is it the
We've
designs
already
on the
settled
floor and
this.
shit?
Give it 10 years before you argue with Miss Sonia.
Aw, yes.
In truth, Strawberry Tower are actually the exact same place.
So that's the secret of the funhouse.
Is that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors.
Really?
Damn it!
In truth,
Are actually the exact same place.
No, that's wrong.
Okay.
Both of those towers, are they really the same place?
Why are you asking that now? Do you harbor a grudge because my kingdom destroyed your homeland?
Hajime, I won't tolerate any sort of...
I mean, doesn't it seem strange? When we went to Great Tower from Great Hall, Nekomaru's body was in front of the door to Strawberry Hall. But when we went to Strawberry Tower from Strawberry Hall, his body was in front of the door to Grape Hall.
It's probably some kind of trick, like the floor rotating 180 degrees or something. If it is, then see? That means it could have passed as the exact same place, right?
If so, then what? Do you seriously think such a simple answer is the correct answer?
Does that mean he's wrong?
Oops, I guess I've said too much.
If the floor didn't rotate, then that means we need to think about the structure of the building.
Bow down.
Bow down.
Then how about this? Somebody moved Nekomaru's body.
Well, we were moving from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower, but we should have all been together during that time. Even if they tried to move the body...
Then Monokuma did it. While we were moving, Monokuma...
But Nekomaru's body wasn't the only thing moved. Are you...
If it is too heavy, just like if there is no bread...
Let them eat cake. Alright, my rebuttal's probably the oil on the floor. Yeah, you can't move the oil on the floor like that.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Hello?
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece.
Why am I not allowed to keep moving?
I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
I have limited cuts? Are you kidding me?
Different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Fuck you, game. God damn.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing. There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Yeah, that's not doing anything.
There are many different ways. The body... The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing. There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
I can't even?
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled.
This is
And
actual
Nekomaru
horseshit.
could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
This game is so stupid.
Moving the body and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the futuristic pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene.
Allow me to cut through those words. Moving the body and pillar is possible, but it would have been impossible to move the oil on the floor.
Huh?
When the position of Nekomaru's body and the pillar changed, the oil surrounding his body moved too. physically moving all of the oil like that is simply not possible, no matter how you look at it.
Then it's impossible to think it was moved.
No, that's literally not it. It's literally I have to slice them 6 times. Doesn't matter what direction I'm slicing, it has to go through it 6 times. It just so happens that 2 of them line up, so I can cut both of them in 1 cut. So that means I'm saving on cuts. That's the only thing that changed. That is literally the only thing that changed. And this is where this is like literally the part of the game where I'm frustrated at how stupid this the fucking mechanics of this game are. To the point where I'm not having fun. But I am going to get through this.
I am terribly sorry. I cannot believe I got so fired up.
It's all right. A fired up Miss Sonia is awesome to watch.
Shut up.
What really happened? Does that mean the 2 towers aren't the same building?
We can't be certain of that either. Not when the experiment involving the handbook I left on the tower floor was a complete success.
Yeah, the E-handbook was still there. That's why we thought the 2 towers were the same building.
If they're not the same building or 2 different buildings, then what are they?
No idea, huh?
Okay, we don't have enough clues to solve that mystery. The only thing we can do is rely on the one person who has those clues. Now I can tell.
I thought it would come to this. I knew my turn was coming up. Fine. I'll tell you,
Give us the answer.
but then it wouldn't mean anything.
Fuck you.
It's also important for me because it will help.
So why did Nagito say all that all of a sudden? Did something happen
But
to
how
him?
do we know your hint is any good? It's suspicious that you're the only one who knows it.
I have a good reason for that. The reason I'm the only one who knows it is because I was the only one who performed the appropriate action. I see!
You're talking about the final dead room, right? You cleared the life-threatening game there and found something, didn't you?
That's right. The hint is what I saw after I cleared it. In the depths of the final dead room, there was a hidden room surrounded by concrete. And there, a small conspicuous window waited, all by itself. From that window, I saw some very strange scenery.
What's going on, Crush? How you doing, man?
Strange scenery?
Instead of explaining it, it might be faster just to show you. At an opportune time, I found a perfect camera in the final dead room.
You took a picture?
Yep.
Nagito grinned creepily as he retrieved a small digital camera from his inner pocket. He showed us a peculiar picture.
Let me explain it to you again.
Yeah, there's 2 different levels.
I took this picture on the first floor of Strawberry House, from the secret room within the final dead room.
Yeah, it's like a pillar that goes up. How do you do this?
But don't you think it's weird? If the funhouse's structure is what you guys have been thinking, then there's lots of things that don't make sense in this picture, right? Then let's begin. Shall I call it thinking?
Fuck you. What doesn't make sense in this picture? What do I click? There's no tower on the other side. It's only one side.
Crap! Here!
Thank you.
If the structure of the funhouse is what we thought it was,
There should be a second tower on the other
Grape House
side.
and Strawberry House should link to the tower in the middle, which means if you're viewing the tower from Strawberry House, you should see Grape House behind it. But in this photo, I don't see anything behind the tower. No shadow, no shape, no Grape House at all.
How you doing, Crush? Hope your night's going well. Nagito said there's lots of things that don't make sense in this photo, which means that there are other contradictions contained in it. No, I don't want to click the same spot again.
Here!
What am I clicking on?
You said this photo was taken from the hidden room inside the final dead room, right? If that's the case, then that means it should have been taken from the first floor of Strawberry House.
Yeah, it should have been.
Then, this is definitely strange. This photo doesn't look like it was taken from the first floor. The angle suggests it was taken from higher up.
How was your week? It was alright. It is true, we are pretty high up. Yeah. My week has been... Yeah, I don't know, it's been alright. Been chilling, been streaming a lot of this. Strawberry House is on top of Grape House. That would make sense, yeah. Based on the structure, Grape House has like a thicker, like a larger base, and Strawberry House would fit inside of Grape House. Like it would literally, it goes from like an octagon to like a square, like a rectangle. Sorry, let me try to make it. It's like an octagon to a rectangle. That's like the exact same height or the exact same like tallness of the. I guess it's not. It's a heptagon or a hexagon. There we go. It's a hexagon, right? So then it'd be like, it's like this tall though. And then the Strawberry House is exactly the same height, it's just thin. So it's like it cut off the two like quadrants for the hexagon, right? So that extra, those little extra areas were cut off. So it fits exactly on top of the other one. So.
In summary, this is the truth contained in this photo. The first floor of Strawberry House is located in a high area, and Grape House is not behind the tower.
It's not. Are you saying that Grape House is merely...
From this point on, do your own thinking. Now that you've finally met the same requirements as me, if you guys are truly symbols
the tower
of hope,
extending on top of Grape House, so the central tower just moves up and down to meet you. Exactly. Which is quite literally the exact same thing I said last night. Well, not quite literally, but that's the same thing that I that's the same thing that I was suggesting last night. I honestly, I don't care. If I don't get a good grade on the whatever, I don't fucking care. I'm just gonna play. You can easily solve a mystery like this.
It's possible for Hajime to solve it too, despite the fact that you don't have.
Is he talking about that one item? Hello there. You showed up. How did you even come here? Maybe I teleported.
You're referring to when you suddenly appeared on the second floor of Grape House, right?
I'm asking you just to be safe. At the time, where do you think I came from?
The top floor, right?
Such sharp eyes. So you realized it already?
Top floor. So the third floor?
But the Monokuma Archive should be the only room on the third floor of Grape House.
When you play Ultra Despair Girls, you have to get a good score. I'm not playing Ultra Despair Girls, so. Yeah, whatever. Let's do this. Logic dive. I don't know what it is, but I'm like really not enjoying this experience. Like, I don't know what it is. Just right now. Normally I'd be like all gung-ho about it, right? But now I'm just like, eh. This is lame. Like, just fucking get on with it. They both exist is your fucking question? Like, that's so dumb. It's like these questions in particular are like lame. These aren't good questions. Like, this is so stupid. I already knew all this. This is super lame.
It's all coming together.
Yeah, oh man. Big brain moment. I'm tilted. I am tilted.
Got it. I know the secret of the funhouse.
The question is, how do I get untilted? Can I? Right? Like, I am tilted. That's why. It's like I'm just annoyed by the fact that some of the things are I don't know. Yeah, but I can't stop playing right now. I'm like literally in the middle of a trial. Everybody's here. Take a deep breath and get really high. Eh.
Then let me
Just get through it.
What kind of answer will you?
In the picture Nagito took from Strawberry House, I didn't see Grape House at all. So where did Grape House go? There was only one possibility. It was in a position where it couldn't be seen from Strawberry House. Which means Strawberry House and Grape House are in the same building, but on different floors.
Same building, different floors?
Then the two houses aren't two different 3-story buildings. They're actually one 6-story building?
Yes. Wow, big brain moment.
Based on Nagito's picture, it's clear where Strawberry House is located.
The floor is above Grape House.
See? On top of Grape House. That's where Strawberry House is located. Because of that, the photo taken from the first floor of Strawberry House was at a high angle. Altogether, this means the first floor of Strawberry House is also the 4th floor above Grape House.
Oh, snap! I never expected that the two houses were connected vertically.
But what about the shape of the building? The two houses were completely different shapes.
Strawberry House is 4-sided, and Grape House is 6-sided, right?
It never occurred to us that they were the same building because it was structured with two different shapes.
It never occurred to us. It never occurred to anybody ever that they were different. What? Fuck you. Shut up.
A quadrilateral and a hexagon.
Well, what I tell you? They're like literally designed so that works that way.
Disregarding the tower.
In order to get
Yeah, whatever. Skip all this. I don't care.
You've just been Kuma'd!
I don't care.
Yeah. Just like Strawberry House was on top of Grape House, Strawberry Tower was also on top of Grape Tower.
However, if they're different floors within the same building, why was Nekomaru's body in both places?
This is just asking so many more questions. This is just giving me more questions than it is answers at this point, though. If they're different floors within the same building, why was Nekomaru's in both places?
Aw, your precious hammies don't know. But it's alrighty then. I'll be.
Oh.
Oh,
I
jeez.
see. Do whatever you like.
Oh, definitely make her watch me. I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Then hurry up, dumbass!
Thank you.
One of the bodies in was actually a dummy.
You
What?
mean a fake?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body. It should be possible to construct a dummy.
You're magnificent, gun.
No fair.
So which one?
Shut up. Just pick one of them. I'm gonna solve it.
Then hurry up!
One of the bodies was actually a dummy.
No, that's wrong!
The only dummy here is you, Kazuichi.
Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy. That can be proven by Kazuichi's account.
Me?
Remember? When we moved from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower, we thought the body had moved. And that's when you said,
The parts that I carefully arranged when I disassembled the body all moved too.
right up until that moment, you were disassembling Nekomaru's body at Grape Tower, right? The killer couldn't have known how you'd take apart his body, so they couldn't have built a dummy.
Unless Kazuichi was the one who built the dummy, then it would be a different story.
Miss Sonia, that's a pretty harsh joke. You are joking, right?
It's alright. Kazuichi is not the killer. If he was, he wouldn't have fixed the elevator or the button in Strawberry Hall. It'd be much more convenient for the killer if it stayed broken.
I see. That is disappointing.
It's not inherently an alibi.
Even more disappointed.
However, even if Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy, it's meaningless if we don't have the important answer.
The reason Nekomaru's body was in both towers, even though it was supposed to be on different floors.
Maybe it was simply moved?
The body moved to a different floor?
What the fuck is wrong with you
can't
people?
think of a device like that?
Jesus Christ. Are we really fucking describing an elevator? Oh, are you fucking shitting me right now? This is like, again, this is where the game breaks down and stops being like, oh, this is a really interesting mystery novel, and it's like just a fucking sham. It's a goddamn elevator, dude. Who the fuck doesn't know what an elevator is? Why am I wasting my goddamn time doing this fucking stupid minigame over a fucking elevator, dude? Give me an R. Christ alive.
I got it!
You...
What? Are you saying Nekomaru's body was transported using an elevator?
Where the hell is this elevator anyway?
Yeah, I'm glad that it's over quickly.
It's the tower itself.
Thank you.
The
God
inside
damn.
of the tower is one big elevator. Which means the tower was designed so that the whole room goes up and down like an elevator. So whether you enter from Strawberry Hall or Grape Hall, it all leads to the same room, right?
So that's why we could only enter it from one side or the other.
Now that you mention it, sometimes when I pressed the door button, it took a while for it to open.
I see. We were basically waiting for the room to arrive just like an elevator.
Please hold on. If the inside of the whole tower ascends and descends like an elevator, then why is there a picture of a strawberry on the... and a picture...
If the room just moves up and down like an elevator...
Plus, after the incident...
I'm annoyed
Not
because...
just that, but if I remember correctly, even the doorknob was broken.
I'm annoyed at this because here's the thing. Whenever you write for games like this, when you write a game for a mystery novel, you have to talk about every little detail to make sure that all of your players are following along. The problem is, I've already figured this out like forever ago, and we're just walking through the motions, and it's like, I know what it is. And it's so stupid that the characters are like, but why is there a different door over there? I was like, I don't fucking know, dude. Maybe to fucking throw you off. Ugh.
There are too many strange things. Was that tower really an elevator?
When
Yeah, I'd
you
like to
see
solve the
people and
puzzle.
things, make sure you focus on the good parts instead of the bad.
Here's the thing, right? Is that, like I said, you have to make sure that all of your players are following along, because there will be people who didn't like big brain figure it out, right? So it's like, trust me, I get it. Don't feel like you're stupid because you didn't like immediately recognize all this stuff, right? Like, to me, it's like as soon as I heard that was the case, I was like, oh. You know, like as soon as I saw the window and the door hatch, I was like, oh, that the only way that would make sense if this was like that, you know. So I don't know. Like, it made sense to me. Like, I solved that puzzle pretty quickly. So.
What did you say?
So, let's put aside what's changed and focus our attention on what hasn't.
Why do we have to do that?
It's fine. Come on. What does everything that hasn't changed have in common?
Things that didn't change when we moved in between the two towers. The body, the pillar, and the oil. I
see.
They're all on the floor.
Is it safe to say that all the items on the floor didn't change?
I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not doing that.
And?
Why did the picture on the far back door change? If you can, the reason is because that.
Has something unique about it? Only the floor moves?
I see.
So that's it. The elevator was designed so only the floor moved.
Only the floor moved?
Which means the whole room was... That's why we saw different doors in each tower.
God damn it.
Which means on the first floor of Grape Tower. And on the
Then, where do the different floors lead?
Nowhere.
I want to say they lead outside, but
Just for show. Why was something like that necessary?
That would mean that Grape Door, the strawberry door on Grape Tower is the exit. Smell burning plastic? That's not good.
so we'd falsely believe that the doors were connected to where their picture signal.
It's just really annoying. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to solve the murder.
Effective. Because of that,
I want to solve the murder, right?
I get it. But I guess it means whoever designed this
And instead we're like,
totally
huh,
twisted personality.
Grape House? Grape House is green, but Strawberry House is red. like, dog, we fucking know this. Let's move on.
Did you hear that, Monami?
Don't blame this on me.
Then I'll take responsibility.
Swoon.
Like, there's no way that's gonna happen. Stop with the tasteless jokes.
By the way, what does the chain on the far back door in Grape Tower mean?
It was probably wrapped there by the killer to keep us as far from Strawberry Tower as possible.
Why?
Because of that chain. You guys thought you couldn't enter there, right?
Like I said, I could probably use these parts to repair that button, but seriously, hold on. Even if we do repair the button, what's going to happen to the chain on the other side of the door? Chain? The door that leads to Strawberry Hall is a chain wrapped around the doorknob. Even if you fix the button on the Strawberry Hall side, the door won't open as long as the chain is there. You don't need to worry about that at all.
The killer destroyed the Strawberry Hall button, so we'd stay away from Strawberry Tower. Everything was done to tamper with the evidence, so we wouldn't find out about the secret of the funhouse.
There you go.
The appearance of a body in the tower would contradict what we thought we knew about the building.
Well, I'm excited for Danganronpa 3 then, because hopefully it's not as dumb as this one right now. Code contradict what we thought we knew about the building.
In that situation, if we'd gone to Strawberry Tower, we'd have seen that contradiction firsthand. And using that as a clue, we might have discovered the truth. The truth that the two houses and the two towers are actually one complete vertical building. The killer wanted to keep us from learning that. That's why they made us stay away from Strawberry Tower.
Is playing V3 in the future plans? Yes.
They destroyed the button and wrapped a chain around the door just for that?
Yeah. It was
Would
effective.
it really have inconvenienced the killer if we learned the true structure of the building?
Yes, it would have. Because we wouldn't think about the fact that you can go through the fucking floor to go to different buildings.
It would have been a major inconvenience. After all, This funhouse is strongly connected to the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru.
Hold on. You're progressing much too quickly. There's still a contradiction concerning
Is there?
the building structure.
What a pain.
Gundam, please
You said earlier that Strawberry House and Grape House are connected vertically, right? If so, how does the
God damn it. We've already...
this inside
Yes, it goes around the building on the outside. We literally talked about this. TV started to overheat after being on 6 hours straight. Interesting.
if the two houses are connected vertically.
The elevator should move.
Do I have evidence of the compass? Or no? Kazuichi's account.
Vertically, not horizontally.
However, at both houses, if the contact elevator, the towers are in opposite directions.
Which means your reasoning.
It's clearly contradict.
What's with this iron curtain of teamwork?
If the two houses are
The elevator should move.
vertically, not horizontally.
However, if the contact elevator, the towers are in opposite directions.
Alright, fuck you.
Damn it!
If the two houses are connected vertically.
The elevator should move.
Vertically, not horizontally.
However, at both houses, if the contact elevator is behind you, the towers are in opposite directions.
It's not the one.
Which means your
It's clearly contradict.
What's with this iron curtain of teamwork?
It was cheap when we got it. It's the only one that we have that fits on my desk and has HDMI and RCA.
If the two houses are connected vertically.
The elevator should move.
Vertically, not horizontally.
Nope.
Damn it!
If the two houses are connected vertically.
The elevator should move.
Vertically, not horizontally.
However, if the contact elevator is behind you, the towers are in opposite directions. Damn it!
If the two houses are connected
The elevator should move.
Did I?
vertically, not horizontally.
However,
I'll try it on vertically. I did it on the
towers are in
opposite directions. I think I did it on vertically as well, but I'll try it again.
Teamwork.
If the two houses are
The elevator should move.
vertically, not horizontally.
Oh, there we go.
No, that's wrong. The elevator wasn't just moving vertically. Isn't that right, Kazuichi?
Huh? Me?
I might have. No, that's wrong.
Come on. You used the elevator while you were holding that compass Nagito gave you.
That. Yeah, it was pretty strange. From start to finish, somehow the compass needle rotated 180 degrees.
Rotated 180 degrees?
Meaning, as the elevator moved between the two houses, it also rotated 180 degrees. It was probably following the building's perimeter, which means the exit would be on.
And thanks to pure...
An elevator that rotates while it moves. Is that even possible?
Well, a funhouse is an amusement park attraction, you know. And since the building doesn't really need to be structurally practical, it makes for some
She
splendid
rotates
fun.
180 degrees. She rota butts.
That's not splendid
say I'm inhuman, I'm different from these.
So we're done with the secret of the funhouse, right? Then let's start talking about the important stuff.
Ah, finally. I'm gonna pee real quick. Alright, I'm back. Keep teaming up and shutting down Kazuichi, and you keep giving Kazuichi the spotlight. You know me. You need to chill. No, I'm gonna be frustrated. I'm gonna be mad as fuck.
What's the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru? And how'd they combine it with the pillar?
Huh? You still don't know what the ultimate weapon is yet? It's what?
What is the octagon? I haven't heard about that yet.
Oh my. I can't believe I have to.
Fuck you.
As long as you know what an octagon.
It's an 8-sided shape.
See. If I recall, I didn't expect you to know. I guess I should continue listening.
Okay. Place fitting an octagon? I can't move around here. Where's Uka? Dude, the best question. What's an octagon? Oh, dude, what the fuck?
Crap! 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 Crap!
So fucking dumb. Can you spot the octagon? There's literally no octagons around here. It could be anywhere.
This is my.
Yeah, I want to retry. Fuck you,
We'll
game.
never give up.
On top of everything, but the window that we saw was on the first house, the first floor of Strawberry House. Like literally, we saw from the first floor of Strawberry House, which is the 4th floor of the building. It's literally it's this right here, this right here. This on the other side. We saw this whole scenario from this corner here, right? So then, why all of a sudden is the octagon not anywhere here? It's not Strawberry House. It's not Grape House. It's not the tower. It's not anywhere else. It's literally, it's right. I'm like pointing right fucking there. It's right there.
Here.
Fuck you, game. This is bullshit.
You're talking about the secret room surrounded by concrete.
Why is that place the octagon?
It's so fucking dumb. It's like right fucking there. I'm like, why isn't it letting me pick there? And I picked there. And that's it. I was like, you fucking son of a bitch.
You know how the 4-sided strawberry house is on top of the 6-sided grape house?
Bruh. I picked Strawberry House. Like, there's no way it's Strawberry House. There's no way it could be.
Edges. It becomes an 8-sided shape.
That's basically the gist of it.
That's your theory on the... Okay, go fuck yourself.
The true identity of the octagon is that secret room in the depths of the final dead room. In actuality, That place contained various weapons.
Then the ultimate weapon was there too?
That's a little different. I learned the true identity of the ultimate weapon at the auction.
What or who broke me? What?
Learned? The true identity of the ultimate weapon is the funhouse. Which means the killer used the building structure as their weapon. and
Dude, watch.
killed
Adam is
Nekomaro.
100% right, and he fell out of the elevator shaft and bonked his head on the floor. Guaranteed.
Like me, the killer probably realized the secret of the funhouse from the scenery, and then thought of a way to kill making use of the building structure.
The funhouse itself is the weapon. So they killed using the building structure?
Don't worry about it, Shuli.
That's why the killer tried to keep us from learning the mystery of the building. But more importantly, using the building itself.
Now we're at a... Okay. Well, this better pick up in the next section. Otherwise, I'm going to be really annoyed. This whole case is, like, just so fucking bonkers. Like, this seems so much more convoluted for no reason.
I'm up, and just...
I know. Oh well, let's just press on ahead.
Is it really alright to accept a
I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is the killer who used the building structure. Like, who's Nekomaru's murderer?
But is it really okay to believe the building is the weapon? No.
There's no way I'd lie.
What happened to the bastard who kept saying how much they didn't mind dying?
He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone for your... I will sincerely... I'm disappointed too, you know?
You say such falsehoods, per usual. There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder. Forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires. Even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
I see.
It's fine. Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Neck. Just so you know, it's not like I'm getting hungry or anything, you know.
Akane! You're drooling waterfalls?
Anyway, if the killer used the building structure, why don't we think about how they used it?
How they killed Nekomaru.
It might be better if we clarify the cause of death first, don't you think?
Nekomaru's cause of death. We used the fucking ultimate weapon, which is the size of the building, or whatever. What was his cause of death?
I see.
Told you. Told
That's
you.
it.
Nostradamus
I think he might have died from falling.
Adam over here. And fucking CJ too. I swear to God. CJ has literally gotten like... He's 2 for 2.
Died?
Like literally at the very beginning, he's like, I don't know any of the characters' names, so it's the princess girl. And it's like it's gonna be it. It's gonna be Sonya.
The secret is that
Just
it's
will
a
be.
structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected. Then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
That I don't know yet.
Don't just make things up when you don't know the method. Where in that building would you even be able to push someone off in the first place?
It might be possible in the tower. You could push him off the 4th floor when the elevator is on the 1st floor.
Wow,
Did you
Akane,
forget
that's
how the elevator functions.
it's actually smart.
When it's on the 1st floor, the door on the 4th floor won't open.
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell.
But my gut is going crazy right now.
Interesting. Okay, so the strawberry door was on the bottom floor. The grape door is on the top floor. Right? No? Yes. So the grape door's door handle is broken off. So if he was tied there and then his body was tied up, he could be hanging upside down. Then the floor goes down. That would make the most sense. Question is, like, what is the crux here? Yeah, he was hanged on the on the upper one. They hung him up upside down, I guess, by the door handle, right? I guess my question though is, right? And so then he's hanging upside down, the floor goes down to the next floor, and then he falls. He lands on top of the pillar and falls on the ground afterwards. Huh. And they leave a hammer there. Okay, that makes sense. So the question would be, the person would have had to have known about the final dead room. So the final dead room is really the key to this, right? Who completed the final dead room? Right? Yeah, but if it breaks the doorknob, then he wouldn't hang for very long. Right? Like, literally, if he's upside down, as soon as the slat goes out, he breaks the door handle. We're going to be running out of waifus? Yeah. Which is one of the reasons why I think one of the guys did it. Mainly because it's like gender balancing. Like, literally... Oh, can I not look at other stuff? No? Okay. I was gonna look at the thing, but it's like 2 guys died, and then 2 girls died, and then 3 girls died. Now a guy died, another guy dies. That brings us back to pretty close in the middle. Alright, then we'd be 3 females and 4 males. Yeah. Instead of 5. No, we're at 6 males right now. No, but Nekomaru died, now we're at 5. Yeah, so we have a 5-to-3 ratio. So if a guy was the murderer here, that would put us at a closer ratio instead of like this, because then that would be really off, really weird. Anyways, when the elevator's on the 1st floor.
You can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Nekomaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on, did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside, the other door won't open. Which means the elevator wouldn't have moved either.
That must be the threshold of that elevator.
What is your favorite music from Danganronpa 1? Do 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 do. I think it's New World Order. Yeah, that song is really good. New World Order is good. Also, Beautiful Dead or Beautiful Ruin, whatever it's called, is really good too. Colin, what's going on, man? How you doing?
When the elevator is on the you can't go through the door.
It'd be impossible.
Then, after locking they moved the and made use of the.
Hold on.
As long as there's a moving object inside.
No, that's wrong.
Kirigiri theme. I don't know most of the names, so I couldn't tell you. Box 15, Box 16 is also really good. Little tour got sick. Aw, man. That sucks. I do have a Phoenix Wright objection emote, by the way. If anybody cares. Objection. Keck. Nobody ever uses it though. Wait, that's wrong. Should I work on something that's moving?
If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him, right?
I see. So that's how...
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it.
I have played all the Ace Attorney games, including Spirit of Justice.
There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from. Yes?
That's what I was about to explain before Kazuichi interrupted me.
Silence, pest!
Now you're calling me a pest?
Let's see here.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is...
The hammer
Sorry.
is suspicious.
I love this song.
Isn't
Eric,
it
it's
about
rigged.
time we went over the pillar again?
It's always rigged.
What about the oil on the floor?
This is a good
Doorknob on
song.
the floor seems suspicious.
How about we all shut up and listen to what Chiaki has to say?
Silence, pest!
Silence, pest.
Don't be so... What if I start to enjoy it?
Okay, how can you create a difference in elevation?
If you arrange it as you can cause the drop with
So you're telling to think about the arrangement.
that arrangement.
The hammer is suspicious.
No, not,
Isn't it about time we
not the
What
pillar.
about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
That's not it? Okay, this is fucking rigged.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop.
So you're telling to think about the arrangement.
That arrangement.
The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time?
What about the oil on the
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
There we go.
I agree with that. Didn't the doorknob have scrape marks on it? That might have been where it got scraped by the wire.
Is that the same wire that was tied around Nekomaru?
Sadists and masochists. Guess people like inflicting pain and people like receiving pain?
The tip of that wire was tied
What is...
into a loop.
I don't know. Super frustrating fight night. It's a shame. Tip that wire was tied into a
The
loop.
elevator moved while that loop part hung from the doorknob.
If they did something like that, he would have been suspended in midair.
That's right. He was suspended in midair.
Huh?
The killer tied up Nekomaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode. Tied the tip of the wire into a knot and hung it on the doorknob to the 4th floor. With that, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor of Grape Tower. And suspended Nekomaru in midair.
Interesting.
That's right! He was so...
You better not finish that sentence.
The killer took advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moved.
Masochist, the ultimate masochist. Machinist? Masochist? I don't know. There's a joke in there somewhere.
By doing that, they created a drop so Nekomaru could fall to his death.
Too easy. So what if they created a drop? There's no way you can make him fall and die with just that.
Why?
If Nekomaru is suspended in midair like that, then how do you get him to fall? Because if he's suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall.
You have to trigger the fall somehow. Let's hear it.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
I'm glad you can hear it. That's the only thing I'm worried about. I'm like, am I just doing this for my own good and you guys don't hear me?
How would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
It doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his
Vibeception.
own.
What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
Nope.
Crap! What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right? If he was sleeping, there's no way he could do that to... Now's the time if you want to take that. But in that case, you still won't be able to... Moving the elevator with Nekomaru inside is just impossible. End of story. What? Nekomaru fell on his own?
Okay.
Crap! What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
There we
Allow
go.
me to cut through those words.
Who is sus? Gosh. Everyone?
What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair?
So one of the things that I'm noticing so far, and now I can look at it. All right. So Nagito is an asshole. Fuck him. Gundam doesn't seem like he's sus to me. He doesn't seem like he has any desire or like any. Doesn't have a motive. You know what I mean? I'm really, really, really far behind on motive. And he's been like pretty chill this whole session. He hasn't been like anything out of the ordinary. You know, they're like, oh yeah, we found the ultimate weapon in the octagon. And he was like, they would die. I am the ultimate weapon. I have come from the fires of hell, and I am forged with the sword of justice. Right? And then it's kind of funny because Sonya is like crushing on Gundam right now. It's like, you're even more powerful with your 4 dark devas of destruction. You're unstoppable. And he's like, oh my, right? So Sonya and Gundam are like working together. It's pretty fun. So Gundam, he doesn't seem sus to me at all. Kazuichi also doesn't seem that sus because he fixed the elevator. He fixed the button to get in the room. Like, he could have just chosen not to do it, but the fact that he like actually went through and fixed everything and helped us solve the riddle in the case definitely implies that he's not doing anything bad here, right? Fuyuhiko, I originally suspected him a lot, but I don't know, man. Like, ever since he turned, ever since after chapter 2, so chapter 3 and chapter 4 so far, he's been like on the up and up. Like, he's been like an actual like above board, like a good guy, and he's actually helping with the investigation. He's actually being, you know, useful and interactive. So I'm really like not suspecting him a lot right now. So Akane I started off thinking like, okay, Akane totally couldn't have done it because, right? And I'm still. Akane started off this case or this trial like really aggressive, right? She's like, you know, it has to be this thing. We have to do this right now. Like, we have to solve this thing. Like, and then she had all these theories, and they were all cut down, and she seemed like dejected. But I think she's enthusiastic to solve the case. But she's also kind of like accusatory a little bit. So it gives me a weird vibe, but at the same time, I also have to assume that Akane would be smart enough to pull this off, and she's definitely not. Not in my expert opinion. So I'm going to continue thinking that Akane is not the killer because she's too dumb to think of this ridiculous stuff. Then you have Chiaki. Chiaki, like, she wasn't blown away at all by the way the houses are. Whenever we discovered that the house was like the way that I thought it was, so instead of being like 2 buildings with like the elevator down like this, it's actually like this. It's one tall building that's, instead of 2 3-story houses, it's one 6-story house, right? And so one's flipped, like, 180 degrees, so it's like this, right? And they both connect to a tower that has an elevator that goes up and down. So what am I trying to get at here? Chiaki was like not, she was like, huh, that's interesting. Anyways, moving on. And everyone's like, wait, you just accept it? And she's like, yeah, we have to. We have to move on. It's like, I get that, but that's, I don't know. The fact that you don't care is a little sus. I'm still a little sus the fact that she like prevented us from going into the final dead room and all that kind of stuff. Like, she seems to be too on top of it, which makes me a little sus. Sonia has been a little aggressive, and she's acting a little weird. Like, she keeps like trying to use more like, slang. So she's all like, "This is correct, faux show." Like, is that true, Sonia? Faux show. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. So, you asked who's sus? To me, we're still in a point where like anybody could do it. Anybody could do it. My thoughts. These are my thoughts. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, CJ, you're going to be 3 for 3. You're already 2 for 2. You're going to go for 3 for 3.
What are you saying? Like, how would he even wake up?
He has an alarm inside his body. As long as it was armed, it would have deactivated his sleep mode. Which means the killer set the alarm before they suspended Nekomaru.
If you woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why,
Probably struggle.
if something like that happened to you, you would start panicking a lot, right? Instinctively, your body would start moving. Nekomaru probably did exactly that.
And then, in order to make him fall from the force he was generating, the wire was hung on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip off. In actuality, the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob, right?
But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right?
He fell because the entire doorknob came off.
When Nekomaru awoke, he must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break off.
Was that unexpected for the killer too?
Maybe.
Well, that's probably it.
I guess it kind of implied that he would just land on the floor and like be bashed up.
If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
Which is one of the reasons why they wanted to block all the doors from Strawberry House. To make it look like, hey, there's no way we'd ever find out the doorknob, which means we wouldn't ever find it. I shall use my full power. With a fierce roar, Nekomaru put all his power into grabbing the doorknob with both hands. Clatter, clatter, clatter. Not yet. Okay, actually, that's a good question. How did it fall off if he used over 1,000,000 horsepower or whatever? Is that a broken heart? Wow, that is surprisingly pretty good. I have an idea. Oh, that's funny. What else can I do? What does that look like with the kissies? Aw, that's not so great. Heart eyes? There we go. Software's getting better, I gotta tell you. At first it sucked. I thought the initial ones were garbage, but they seem to be getting better now. Yeah, like it even like works with this, right? Like the eyes are like the heart eyes are actually working on the emotes. Like that's pretty accurate. Yeah, it's actually getting the chin better. So they're definitely working on it. I have an idea. It's pretty funny. I have an idea. Isn't it creaking? If you break off the doorknob, you'll be stuck here. Oh, maybe he softened it up. Evil CC me. There's the clue Nekomaru left for us to find.
So that's how Nekomaru fell to his death.
Do you finally understand now?
Yeah. It appears it's just as Miss Sonia said. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking pig.
Aw.
Isn't that right, Miss Sonia? If I'm a fucking pig, you can say so.
Chaos and
No,
calamity.
I believe you gave your all.
Hey, why aren't you teasing me anymore?
This guy. He gets off on this.
Thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down. That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course.
Yeah, he crashed into the pillar.
I see.
Chaos creator.
When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that it?
Chaos control. Oh man, this reminds me of something else. Oh man, here's the thing, right? I want to share it, but at the same time, like you guys wouldn't find it as funny as I do, so I'm not gonna even bother. When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that it?
Finally, the pillar!
I'm not the coolest.
So
It's just that, like, okay.
shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
If you want to know, there was a Game Grumps animated short. All right. And it made me laugh because it was a funny funny bit, gag, whatever you want to call it. It was funny. I enjoyed it. Most of you don't watch Game Grumps. Most of you wouldn't find it funny. I found it funny. And it reminded me of it a lot. But I know if I share it, you guys are going to look at me weird. Like, there's no way I can share that video without you guys looking at me weird. I guarantee it. 100%. I'm not even going to try. So, yes. Through a lens of weird. I've speedrun that game. I played it a lot. I'll send it to you, AP. I think most of y'all would think I'm weird.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon. My gut was totally right.
It's not about weebs.
Pillar was a bonus.
It's not about
It's not even
weebs, that's the
clear if
thing.
The killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
Did you know that you are qualified to be a UFC judge? Am I? Because I don't know anything? There you go, I was about to say. Oh, man. No, I'm not going to do it. Not even clear. Pillar intended or that. Well, sorry. Pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that or if it was just a
At
coincidence.
this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
Then what about the alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. And if we map it out from there...
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
What'd you just say? Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nah, that's impossible, because even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning.
One judge didn't look during the entire fight. They gave the losing fighter 3 perfect rounds. Wow. The judges are corrupt. Down with the judges. Dude, Joe Rogan's out here like, what the fuck is going on here?
Now that you mention it, so did I. There was no way I could be late for Monokuma Tai Chi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7 a.m.
And if we found Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before the 7:30 a.m. alarm went off.
It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed.
Joe Rogan was livid.
How were you able to discover
Good.
Nekomaru died at
Good.
7:30 a.m. when you
At least somebody has some goddamn integrity around here. Some goddamn integrity. How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
That's what I want to know.
Now the mystery I don't understand. Seriously, it's just one after the other. Someone changed the clocks.
We headed for Grape Tower before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Make sure I see all my things here. Okay, so. Good night button on the floor, chip pillar, chain. Akane's account said she heard a rumbling noise at 5:30. If I could fucking read. Fuyuhiko's said he saw Nekomaru walking towards the first at 5 a.m. Yellow bellies? That's not true. The wall clock. At 5:30 a.m., the alarm on the wall clock on the lounge on the Strawberry House, second floor, started going off. That's an assumption that I don't know if that's true. CJ, I know you read a lot, but I think AP also reads a lot. So, like, here's the thing, right? I know CJ also reads a lot. So, I don't know. I actually don't know who other two of you reads more. CJ's confident, but CJ's confident in a lot of things.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
That's gotta be it!
Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, it's well, actually, wait. I remember last night, I was like, what if somebody used a radio transmitter to change Nekomaru's clock, right? But now I'm like, wouldn't it be like way fucking easier to just change all of the clocks everywhere else?
We headed for Grape Tower before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body. One of those must be an illusion.
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
Oh, oops, that's the wrong one. There's definitely one of that I need to do that.
We headed for Grape Tower.
Score Brain wouldn't let me read 8th grader books when I was 1 and I was ticked. 1? Do you mean 11?
Before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest. That's gotta be it!
Okay. It's probably the 7 a.m. one, because the wall clock was also fucked.
We headed for Great before 7 a.m. I am certain.
Nope, not it. Alright, what are my options again? What are my bullets?
We headed for Grape Tower.
Clock's alarm timer? Or is this his? Yeah, okay.
Before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside was set for 7.
Nekomaru died. His time of death and one of those must.
The killer probably messed with the clock inside
There we go. That's what I'm missing.
No, that's wrong. No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
CJ is confident about a lot of things. That's true, you are. You were 3. Squashed a ladybug. Rip. Never forgave him. Oof. But so just gamble all. The clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
You're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
The clock inside Grape House?
No, I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
That just means that all the clocks were moved 2 hours ahead.
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding?
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
Okay, so the time-related contradiction, I don't think I should doubt the testimonies. I should doubt the clock. There's no mistake that something was done. What was it? Perhaps we overlooked something. Maybe we're misunderstanding something. We focus. All right. We think to do a deep dive. It's logic dive. Yay! Misunderstand. Where the who the killer is? What time? The time in the building. Easy peasy. Woo! Sick jumps, dude. We're so sick. Question 2. Which clock was tampered with? Building clocks. It's impossible to tamper with Nekomaru's, but all the building clocks are easy to tamper with. Alright, what's the big brain discovery we're going to get here? Both tests at the wrong time. Yeah, easy. Nekomaru went downstairs at 7 o'clock, not 5 o'clock. Yes, exactly. What are we talking about? What works fine? Roulette is rigged. Followed by I've won 10 points in roulette. There you go. Tricky. It's tricky.
It's all coming together.
Yeah. So everyone's clocks is moved 2 hours forward, which is why
You said you checked all the clocks.
the
inside
alarm.
building.
Well, actually,
Isn't
that's
that right, Fuyuhiko?
what's interesting is that the alarm in Strawberry House went off at 5:30, but the alarm in Grape House went off at 7:30. So why did the alarm go off in Strawberry House at 5:30? Yeah, like what purpose? If it's supposed to be 7:30, so somebody fucked up, I guess, maybe? But again, like I said, it gives somebody an alibi to be there. That's my biggest problem, is that the alarm going off at 5:30 means that someone is, like, all three of them are in the same location. You know? That's my biggest thing. Fuyuhiko's there, Kazuichi's there, and Gundam is there. The three of them being there gives them all an alibi. The person that I suspect the most out of that is Fuyuhiko. That's like the fucking craziest thing. Is like, that definitely is the most sus part. Fuyuhiko right there.
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
Yes.
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
Yeah, because you don't have another time source to...
This is truly fantastic!
Now's not the time to be pleased. More importantly, how much was the time off?
That's the main problem. Is it really that hard? I gotta do this whole fucking thing.
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death. Which clearly 7:30 a.m.
Nope.
If the time in the building, then we can only rely the time of death. Which clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be in our time?
It's like time zones all over again,
Are there
dude.
any clues that can be used to narrow that down?
If only I heard the sound when he fell.
There we go.
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Like I said, I thought now that I guess one of the revised theories that I had was I was so confident that somebody was using like a radio device to change Nekomaru's clock, when it would be way easier to just change the clocks all around the building. And so like the whole time last night, like Ultimata and I were like, dude, what if somebody used a radio device to like shoot direct at his clock thing to like change it because it can be tampered with radio signals? Ha! Idane says, oh, I'll be here the whole time.
Rumbling?
Yeah, I thought so too. It was like a radio emitter. Me too.
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Huh?
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
He lies. He lies. Idane, it's all good, dude. Do what you gotta do. You gotta go to bed. You gotta go to bed. I understand.
What's important is that
Have a good night.
rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Huh? You can tell?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Excellent work, Akane.
It's like the answer to was 2 hours.
I see.
Like I'm a little hair bob goes like.
Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30, and if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
Math, GG boys.
Starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
It's a good idea. Good question.
The reason is obvious. So they could lure out just Nekomaru.
Lure him out?
If
Only?
you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right? From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all it means.
Could also use a specific thing. Oh man, it could only be Tai Chi.
I see.
That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Grape Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning,
You said it was 5. It was actually at 7.
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, at that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early. He didn't even ask you yet.
How outrageous. I honestly didn't expect everyone to ditch Monokuma Tai Chi, but it turned out like this after all, so I guess it can't be helped.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right? We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Would have followed him, the entire plan would have been ruined. Yeah. But he's also like too weak because they haven't eaten in like 3 days, right?
Ah, jeez. That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot or something like that.
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fall?
Wrong!
Liar! I'm right!
That's not it. It's incorrect.
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
This is me playing the video game. Like, it's obviously the correct answer. Like, no, it's not the right answer. No. I'm like, oh, you always get like this, video game. Danganronpa, how dare you?
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Huh?
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar.
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
Hajime, Sonia, Chiaki, and Nagito.
The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
Who is it? Who's the bastard?
Nagito.
You're the only one!
The one who wasn't there. It's you, Right, Nagito?
That's right. Nagito wasn't there. It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out. Even though the alarm was going off like crazy, you weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
He was in his room.
Say something!
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
What?
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
No, it's because he's in the insulated room. The Bloodscape room, dude. My favorite. So one of the things that hasn't been mentioned in any of the truth bullets is that, and I can't show you a layout of the building, there are 5 bedrooms on the 2nd floor of each tower. Or whatever. Right? And there are 2 nice rooms, a standard room, and 2 shitty rooms. The 2 shitty rooms have no insulation. They are very thin walls. They're cold, and they're not soundproofed. Standard room, it's warm, but there's no soundproofing. The big fancy rooms, the 2 fancy rooms on each floor, have good soundproofing and good heat insulation as well. Which means if you're inside there, you cannot hear anything that's going on outside of the room. Which means that Sonia, Chiaki, Nagito, and Nekomaru's room all would not hear the sound. How do none of the kids fuck? I don't know. I mean, Sonia and Gundam are kind of hooking it up, aren't they? Also, they're high school students, dude. I don't know. Well, I mean, that doesn't... I don't know. It's like, it's a video game, all right? They probably are fucking. They just don't talk about it, all right? That's what I'm saying. Like, sorry, let me rephrase that. It's not that the high school student thing, it doesn't mean that they aren't. It just means that they're not going to be depicted having sex. AP's like retching, flirting. Oh, I'm sure. It's the internet.
Definitely fucking lying.
However, that is also true for me. It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
Oh, they not fucking.
To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
That's an anatomically accurate clitoris you have. Please put your clothes back on. Ooh. Didn't you say it was like one of your coworkers at one of your old jobs? No? Maybe I'm misremembering. I'm probably misremembering. A sexy swimmer. Ooh, and sexy legs. I'm trying to make like legs like the ones in the emotes. Is that a theme park? Good old sexy legs. Interesting. So we had a wave pool.
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it, but it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
You still don't know.
God damn it. Fuck you. Hey, man's Gambit. What's the first word? Deluxe rooms. Got it.
I got it.
If your underwear looks like a BMX dirt track, that's a technical foul.
Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right?
Interesting. The Hangman's game sucks. It really does. The three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right?
If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
Divided up by quality grade, the deluxe room is soundproof and has excellent air insulation. The standard room is so-so insulation, but it's still pretty decent, and the crummy room has severe airflow and draft problems.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise.
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation.
Yep.
You actually noticed that. Now then, you guys must understand by now, right?
Hold on a sec. Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
Do I know what he's talking about? There's 2 per tower. So there's 2 in the Grape Tower and 2 in Strawberry Tower. So the Strawberry Tower was all boys, and that was Nekomaru, Nagito in the deluxe rooms. And then the standard room, I think, was Gundam. And then Kazuichi and Fuyuhiko were in the crummy rooms. Or maybe, I can't remember exactly. But I know the 2 deluxe rooms were Nekomaru and Nagito, sorry. And that's specifically in Strawberry Tower. And then in Grape Tower, it was Sonia and Chiaki in the deluxe rooms. And then Akane and Hajime were in the crummy rooms. No one was in the standard room on the side. The killer among us. The killer who murdered Nakamaro. God damn it. I forget who's in the red tower doors. That's the problem. Okay. The question is, with the insulated rooms, what does that mean? Somebody shouldn't know something that they do. You get a free pass to bang? Trying to think here. I don't know what free pass means, so I'm just assuming it's a sexual innuendo. Did someone who had an insulated room claim to hear the sound? Chiaki, I don't think has. I don't think that Sonia has. And I don't think, well, Nekomaru wouldn't because he's dead. And I don't think Nagito is claimed. Well, the only thing that's weird is that, yeah, it's like, because it's specifically referring to the incident where Fuyuhiko was in the lounge and the alarm clock went off. The girls didn't hear the clock. That's because the alarm clock on Grape Tower didn't go off until 7:30, which would be 9:30, technically. So the alarm clock went off at the correct time. Oh, unless someone fixed the clocks back. Huh. Although that doesn't make sense, because then the clock would still be off. Okay. Yeah, because Hajime woke up on his own like 5 or 10 minutes before 5 or 10 minutes before it was time to go downstairs. And then Chiaki and Sonia were already awake. Where was Akane? Was Akane also with us? I forget. I could have sworn... Well, actually, where was Akane during that time? Not that I think it truly matters. Was she in the lobby, I think? I know Sonia and Chiaki and Hajime went to Taichi at the same time. Akane came in later. This is what I don't get. I don't know where that information is supposed to be. Right? Non-specific hint. Sure. And don't tell me the answer, but maybe like ask me a question that gets me on the right track. Because I don't remember the layout specifically of like the rock, paper, scissors, right? I know Nekomaru won. I know Nagito got second. And then I forgot who the other ones were. I think then it was Gundam. And then Fuyuhiko and Kazuichi were in the crummy rooms. Which means that I think Gundam was in the standard room. Because I'm literally like spinning my tires here. I really don't know what I'm being asked. Now I can just do trial and error and just start, suggesting people, and I'm going to start taking damage for it. I can't look at the truth bullets at this point. One of the truth bullets the wrong way. My thought is Fuyuhiko's account where he says that he saw Nekomaru at 5 when he could have been making up the wrong number. I mean, that makes sense, but I don't know. What are the truth bullets that I could be misconstruing? Akane heard it at 5:30. I'm just trying to think what is Nagito says, like, based on the people in the deluxe rooms, that tells us who the real killer is. I'm like, what is this like piece of information that I'm not getting, right? And I can't even look at the truth bullets right now either. I think that annoys me.
You're the only one! Gundam, there's something I want to ask you. When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
What's wrong with that?
Wait, did he win? I thought he was third place. Did I misremember?
If the bell of of catastrophe rings throughout the night. It is the universe's providence to stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right?
Was he? Oh, okay. See, then I misremembered. I thought it was Nekomaru was in a deluxe room. Seems I was wrong though. Okay. Damn, I like Gundam. So Gundam and Nagito were and the Nekomaru must have been in the standard room then. Oh, was he? Okay. Then I misremembered that. I thought that he was in the standard room, and it was a long shot, because I'm like, does the standard room have so-so insulation? Does that mean he shouldn't have heard it? So that's where that was the break in the chain of logic. So, or not the break in the chain, but it's like that's the point where I was wrong because I didn't remember correctly. So.
Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Now that you mention it...
Gundam?
There was only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko. Me?
You were hanging out in the lounge.
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Nekomaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
A little anticlimactic, but...
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room.
Just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi.
Indeed.
Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi. Because I was in the lounge. So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
What are you doing? This ruckus. It's louder than the supreme ruler of the Netherworld's billing for a sacrifice. Don't go making all that noise so suddenly.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say something?
If Gundam is like, you know what? It was I did it. And he like just totally claims it, and he doesn't fight back, I'll be like, all right, I got respect for Gundam.
Answer me this, including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction. How many ears do we possess?
10?
The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears. That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
As
Was that your argument?
You bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Do not panic. The truth shall now commence. At the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I see. You're still holding out.
Damn.
Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime, this class trial, this killing,
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
I'm gonna get a shower and lie back to sleep. Alright. I know I usually stay till the end, but I'm super tired. Shuey, you have a great night. I'll catch you
perhaps
later.
I should say, it's just a farce. Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers. Seriously. Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it?
I guess he remembered that he has only a little bit of time left. No, he told me that earlier, so...
At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder. What actually happened? Did you discover something?
Well, let's just leave that fun for later.
You said opening act again!
Please hold on! We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal!
But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Ooh.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, he wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing, which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
Like I said.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
That's wrong. When something is obviously wrong, and that's when a contradiction is born, there's no such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. The question is does Hajime know? No, it's, whatever, hang on.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
That's the
As long
contradiction.
as that elevator was broke, your assumption collapsed.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return...
Since I was at Strawberry House, there's no question that the following...
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already?
I don't really want it to be a Hot Topic. Me neither, dude. I like Hot Topic. I need to pee again. Hang on. What's a hot topic? Tea creates pee. It's called a diuretic. What's a hot butt pic? Oh, I mean, that's actually pretty funny. Okay, this is one of the things where it's like, I'm gonna have to think about this for a minute. So, the argument is, it's impossible to move between houses if the contact elevator is broken, right? Which we know is false because we have evidence in Nagito teleporting. Nagito's sudden appearance. Nagito's supposed to be at Strawberry House, but he appeared at Grape House via some unknown method. Contact elevator should have been broken, right? So I know it's possible. Once you've gone into the octagon, you can then transfer between the two houses. Make sure I got everything right here. So Mechamaru, then there's the wire, and there's goodnight button. Oh yeah, that's duh.
That elevator was the only means of travel as long as that your assumption plus the elevator broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return...
Since I was at Strawberry House, there's no question that the following crime...
It would have been different if they hadn't...
Or if there was a secret passageway.
There we go.
How much longer? Why don't we stop this already?
Yes, but no.
The only means of travel between the two.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
I'll explain in a minute.
No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
So we talked about this, or it was at least explained in the case. So because last time Nekomaru died, sort of like by because of Monokuma. Monokuma saved him because he was like obligated to, but because this is a murder, he's not obligated to, which means that Monokuma is not going to help at all. But because Nekomaru's head was severed, I don't know. They said it can't be repaired, but it also counts as a murder. So, also the body is probably going to be taken away as soon as the murder's over. I know they definitely imply that, like, Kazuichi doesn't have the tools to repair him, and Monokuma refuses to repair him. So, yeah, they said Pinkish couldn't fix him. Uki's here. Yeah, I think it's more of like as theory for yesterday's gone. I was correct about the building, and I was correct about a lot of things. Not inherently the method of death or the person who I was most suspicious of, but yeah.
Such a method does not exist.
I did have a lot of information correct.
And why don't we ask the person who actually used that method? You're the only one!
You're the only one!
Nagito, you should know. Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
Nagito, why are you here? Because I showed up. Maybe I teleported.
Connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the octagon, which is on the first floor of Strawberry House.
Yeet.
After I opened the door and went down, surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
Called it.
Meaning the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Indeed they are. Why is he a dick? So when he went through the octagon, or when he went through like the death, life-threatening game, whatever you call it, he had to play Russian roulette. he was given a second notebook that described more about the events of the first game, and he also found out that Hajime doesn't have a ultimate ability, like I fucking called. I fucking called that shit way the fuck back in like the first fucking case, right? What else? But I don't know. He's been like a total dick recently, and I think it's because he read something in the file that he's like he expects us to be better, but we're not. I guess I don't know. He's become the supremacist asshole that I totally called he would be.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they want.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
However, what if the killer was
Just
unaware
my
of the
C's?
existence of the final dead room?
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
There's no way I can stop.
Did you say? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities? Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities? Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Yeah.
Even
This
if
is
the turbid
annoying.
box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I can't back down! I already proved the secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind
Oh,
Allow me to cut through those words.
that was the correct one. All right, cool.
The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body.
Yay.
The hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the Octagon.
Yay. Like, I knew the wire and stuff was what I was going for, but I totally just started swinging, and it happened to work, so.
There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the Octagon.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
Seems this is the end. Normally,
Great
we'd
moves.
end up
Keep it up.
listening to Hajime lecture us with but there's no reason to waste any more time on. Hey, first of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru. The elevator was probably broken by that point. Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower. which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties, but even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And, without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay? Through this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru, so by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
Hold on! What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Well, he's admitting it.
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
Sorry, there's a joke that only one person's gonna get here. Only one person's gonna get that joke, so I'm just gonna message them.
What do you intend to do?
Take that out of butt text? Yeah.
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to
I
argue?
never messaged you? What was I supposed to message you about?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
Oh, man. Oh, the Game Grumps thing? Oh, yeah. Well, I'll do it later.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Just as I thought. Truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument. It was just a mere illusion.
The Klansman skit? What is that you're talking about? I actually don't remember that at all. Oh, is this the Dave Chappelle one? I'm not in the clan. What's his name? What's the guy's name? Davy Jones, the guy on Joe Rogan, right? It's not Davy Jones, I know that, but I forget what his name is. It's like Ron Davies or something. No, it was the Chappelle bit where he's the Black Klansman and he becomes like the leader of the clan. And then he's like, I'm not afraid of who I am, and takes his hood off, and he's a black man in front of all these KKK members. Oh, man. That shit's fucking great. Yeah, he's blind, exactly.
If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Alright, you know what? Tell you what. I'll do it right now. Just because. Just because I'm definitely going to forget later, so I'm just going to do it now. Can I not find this anywhere? I think this is it. Hang on.
Colin Powell. Connor Lang. Oh, brother.
Is this it? I think this is it. This is uploaded in 2019 though, which makes me a little sus, but I'll send it. I think this is the one. That's the skit I'm thinking of. I don't promise butt things. Oh, ooh. I gotta find it because it's not showing up whenever I search for it. I don't think this is. Okay, I'll figure it out because I know I've seen it before, but I'll have to find it because I can't find it immediately. So the Pair Strikes album, I did, yeah. I listened to it like 3 times. I thought it was interesting. Hang on, let's get this going here.
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied. Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
I guess you really don't want to admit it. Just as you requested, I will provide an argument that'll leave no choice. Panic talk action. Oh boy.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! For the Tanaka Empire! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really think I can get behind him so easily?
This is the end!
The 4 Dark Devas.
Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck.
Ooh, that's a good question. The link you sent him should be the right one? Someone bet that I couldn't balance a book on my head for 15 minutes. He was wrong and had to give me a massage. It was an 8 out of 10 massage. That's not bad. I hope not. I hope someone else gets to take care of those little hamsters. You should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck.
You have the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
Oh?
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
Of course that'd be impossible for a normal hamster. but it would have been possible for Gundams. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
Emissary of Evil, in accordance to our ancient contract, the time has come to lend me your aid. Pierce through, Supernova Silver Fox Sound D. Choo-choo-choo. I press the button. Truly, it is the Skyline Lamentation art of the Demon Mouse. Soon the door of destiny shall open.
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue, one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right? Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Mechamaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Okay.
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are.
Who argued that I was so weak I could never harm them, so I pulled the strap on their belt and made him fall to the floor.
I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own two hands.
Well, I'm glad he's going out with a bang. I said if he just admitted it, then I'd be cool. I would be okay with him in the long run. Not really, but I guess so. Let's see here. Go, Ch.4, Dark Devas of Destruction. There really should be 2 trials in a row with logical errors as a crux, but... What do you mean? Bitchin'. There's 10 pages? I guess there are. Damn. Does he need to sleep? There we go. Boo 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 boom boom doom doom boom 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 boo boo boo. There we go. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. That's what you were referring to. What's missing? Why did Nekomaru fall? Last stock. There we go. Yay.
Here's everything that happened in this case. Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, based on the way that it was depicted, I almost feel like Gundam could have snuck behind them. They were both looking like at the clock, right? Gundam could have just like snuck like along the wall. Like if he was quick and quiet, it could have like tiptoed like the Pink Panther. Maybe he could have like quietly like gone back to his room. I don't know. That seems, maybe it seems a little dangerous, but with the amount of like ruckus that was going on, he probably could have gotten away with it. Yeah, and even the doorknob itself was like, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, he got the worst outcome, so.
First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge and set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m.
Yep. Told you it was specifically to set an alibi.
The killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but at the same time, if Fuyuhiko was in the lounge from like 5 a.m. and then what's his name left, like let's say, okay, so it's at 5 a.m., right? The alarm goes off at 5:30, right? At 5 a.m., Nekomaru goes downstairs. At 5:15, Gundam comes out of his room and also goes downstairs, and then comes back up 5 minutes later, right? Then it's like, okay, he went down, you saw him leave the room, go down, come back up, and go back in, right? And in that case, it's like, okay, that person has an alibi, not an alibi, but that person is like, you know that person came from that room and went back to it. It was only gone for like 5 minutes, right? So it's a much better explanation than, you're not wrong though. It is definitely like, they scoffed at it, but mainly because he was backed into a corner, I feel like. Like, if that probably would have come up earlier if it was really true. I don't know. I get what you're saying, though. You're not wrong. Yeah, I mean, if you were like, if you like read the transcript and like watched it again, I think you would notice that like he was definitely acting funny, and he's like, oh, I mean, I went to the bathroom. Yeah, that's why I was awake. Duh. You know, it wasn't like they're like, hey, wait a minute, I was going to the bathroom. All right, you need to chill. You know. And you're not wrong. That is also, it's also the same way. I don't know. I get what you're saying, and I agree with you to a certain degree. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to the Strawberry House with a necessary tool in hand.
Obtain these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead room. This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Taichi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that.
Yeah, there's a lot of like little leaps of faith in this game. It's one of the things that I kind of don't like about some of these mystery games is that, yeah, it definitely makes you like, it's like it has to, I don't know. That's one of the things where it's like, I always I butt heads with the game.
The contact elevator was broken. Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower.
Sometimes I butt heads with the game because I'm like, oh, well, you know, this is my theory. Like, this theory to me seems entirely plausible. And then the game is just like, nope, JK. Yeah.
So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there.
For dark davas of destruction.
With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck. This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall.
He had already messed with the clocks. So we think it's 5 a.m., but Nekomaru has a radio clock which is independent, and he says it's 7 a.m.
They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower.
It does not imply that he wakes up Nekomaru with his robot noises. Fuyuhiko is in the lounge before that.
And to keep us from discovering the secret of the building structure that they used to kill Nekomaru.
He has hunger pangs, so he can't sleep.
Octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall,
Yes.
press the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending, and Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful, and placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out.
Yeah.
The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob, but because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking. Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor. He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
There we go. All right. Before we get to the next part, does anybody have any questions about what they don't understand? All right. Fuyuhiko was up before 5 a.m. because he had hunger pangs and couldn't sleep. So instead of trying to lay in bed, he gets out of bed and goes to the lounge and hangs out. This is before 7 a.m., like the actual 7 a.m. Now, the clocks have already been tampered, so Fuyuhiko thinks that it's 5, right? Yeah. No, just making sure, because CJ also had questions too. So, Fuyuhiko sees the clock say 5, which is why one of the truth bullets says that he can see Nekomaru going downstairs at 5 a.m., right? Now, this is after the clocks have been tampered with, and so it's actually 7, but it looks like 5. Which is why everyone claims that the death happened at 5:30, or the crashing sound happened at 5:30, and the alarm in the Strawberry Lounge went off as well at 9:30, or 7:30. Sorry, 5:30, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So just so everyone's clear.
That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Stop. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe. You killed Nekomaru? I cannot believe something like that.
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
Still got a B rank. This game's a sham.
This result isn't all that exciting.
Is this what he meant by the second act or whatever?
Please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right? Please pull the crap. I bit my tongue at the moment.
I wonder what Nagito meant by, like, this is like the opening act. Be bad if I bit my tongue again, so I'll speak slowly. Judging from the results, you guys were correct once again. Getting 4 in a row without any mistakes is a splendid achievement. That's right, the one who killed the robotic Nekomaru in the amazing funhouse was Gundam Tanaka.
Nice.
I said all that without biting my tongue.
Now then.
Now we decided who the killer is. Let's do the execution already and get this over with. Hold on. It's true the class trial is finished, but that doesn't mean the incident is over. We can't finish it until we hear it from Gundam.
Jeez.
No matter what he says, it won't change a thing. I have no right to stop you either, so do whatever you like. Why do you want to talk to the one who was lost? Wait, why do you want to talk to one who has lost? The loser merely leaves. It would be unnecessary for me to say something. Is what I would say, but for honor's sake, I shall correct one thing. Correct? You guys said I made Nekomaru powerless without fighting him. That is, however, it is a great mistake. What?
Fine.
Nekomaru did fight. That is no mistake. And because he fought, he lost and died.
Damn it!
Lost and died.
This, too, must be the will of causality.
If he was just trying to cling to life, there are many ways he could have done so. He did not allow that.
You.
What do you mean? Explain. I shall reveal it all.
Let's make history.
Within the final dead room, I discovered the secret of the funhouse, and I devised a killing plan utilizing that secret. By tampering with all the clocks in the building, I succeeded in luring Nekomaru to the tower. And this is what happened. Nekomaru and I were alone in the tower, standing face to face with one another. I should say I expected as much from Nekomaru. He sensed my subtle killing intent and instantly understood the situation, and we had ourselves a stare down. In that situation, if he wanted to run away, it would have been easy for him to do so. He would have run away or even called for help. He did not turn his back to me. Instead, he chose a fight that risked life and death.
That is...
A fight that risked?
Let me tell you.
He was serious too. He gave it his all to try to kill me. Huh? If I had died instead, the mystery surrounding the case would have been even more complicated. You would never know why I, the victim, went to the tower by myself. Nobody would know that the victim, me, was actually the one who planned the whole thing. Nekomaru really did that?
Sensing even my subtle killing intent, as expected of you, Nekomaru.
The scorching,
all right, AP. Nighty night. Catch you later.
Team manager for so long, I'd nearly forgotten this.
tense atmosphere.
This
Yes.
is great! What a comforting atmosphere!
That's a great line.
And what is your reason? Do you intend to resolve this situation by killing me?
I am the Warlock, Gundam Tanaka. Heroes, Lords of Darkness, and even the gods themselves flee from me. I need not cling to any trivial reason. I'm simply going to kill you because your very existence is an annoyance.
You'll drench your soul with evil until the bitter end, huh? Splendid! In response to your spirit, I shall kill you with all of my might. I won't go easy on you. Don't even think about holding back. Don't waste your breath on cowardly tactics. Give me everything you got.
Nekomaru Nidai, your blood will drench the foundation of my empire.
Damn.
That is...
Why did you fight? We are all friends. Why couldn't you stop this? Even if both sides agreed, it was still wrong. I will not argue. I have no intention of forcing my values upon you. I must say this. What's the point of living if you are just waiting until you finally die?
You weakling.
There's nothing courageous about that. It is abandonment, a mere feeling of resignation. Are you telling me you just wait until we starve to death? I'd rather have that happen to us than have our friends kill each other. Do you mean you'd rather die? Ever since we were locked inside this building, everyone has been dominated by the feeling of abandonment. Nothing is born from resignation. That is simply a reason to give up.
You flinch, you will die.
Giving up on life, that's just an insult to life itself. Have you fools heard the term dog eat dog? Cannibalism? In zoology, cannibalism is a commonly observed phenomenon. Many creatures at some point in their lifespan engage in cannibalism. That is what it means to live. If you say killing for the sake of living is evil, then what would you call giving up on life itself?
I shall engulf this world.
If a world would consider that justice, then I will fight that world with every last fiber of my being. Giving up on life and choosing death is nothing but a blasphemy towards life.
I renounce you.
It is a violation of the natural order. It is the arrogance of humanity. All you had to do was justify what you did? It sounds like Nekomaru felt the same too. That's why they fought, right? Arg. Had the courage? That man had the courage to die when he needed to die. That is why he challenged me to our battle. Regardless, as I've said, I do not intend to force my values upon you fools. I have betrayed you all. That is an absolute truth. Even so, don't you think it's better alternative to slowly starving to death here?
Oh.
That belief is why you committed your crime.
You...
What about the final dead room? Did you do the Russian roulette too? Unlike Nagito, I only did it once, but compared to my battle with Nekomaru, that was mere child's play.
Well?
After listening to you talk for a while, I'm starting to think, well, it's also because you unexpectedly admitted your crime without much resistance. Don't tell me you didn't sacrifice yourself for our sake, did you? I can't believe you would ask such a foolish question.
My name is Gundam Tanaka.
Who do you think I am? I am Gundam Tanaka, history's greatest monster. My cursed existence is feared by all mankind. There's no way I'd sacrifice myself for the sake of you fools. Not in a million, not in a billion, not in 10,000 billion years. In the name of pandemonium, it is impossible. I'll just leave it at that. Now then, let us be rid of this foolish talk. It's about time the fun started. Monokuma, let us begin.
Yes, indeed.
I got it. I have prepared a special punishment for the ultimate breeder, Gundam Tanaka.
Wait!
This is just too much. Monokuma, please help Gundam. Miss Sonia. I beg of you, Sonia. An act as unrefined as stopping a man from going to his death does not befit a noble such as yourself. Gundam. Is it fine to start for reals, right?
Fine.
I do not mind. However, what is it?
Devas of destruction.
What is it, my four dark devas of destruction? They look so sad. No.
Are you worried about me?
Oh.
My feared four dark devas of destruction. That is not like you at all. However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor. I was simply visiting for a moment, and now that my duty is complete, I must return to the darkness. That is why, until the very end, pride, conceit, courage,
Crying again.
insolence, fearful of nothing, daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproariously! That is Gundam Tanaka. I shall stick with my evil until the very end. Open sesame pandemonium! I shall fill hell with true hell.
Let's give it
And everything we've got. It's punishment time. I admire a man who sticks to it. I'm gonna miss Gundam. I like Gundam a lot. What am I looking at? Is that a pineapple? It is. What a fucking badass. Let's go, dude. Oh, he still died. Damn. No. No. Not the 4 Dark Devas. In the arms of the angels, fly away from here. Na, 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 na. Gundam, no! Oh, now I'm sad. Even after Gundam is gone, the spirit of his parting words still lingered deep in our chest. Don't give up on life. Did I misunderstand what he meant? What's the right thing to do? I don't know. No matter how much I think about it, I don't know if I'll ever be able to answer that. Damn it! I'm so pissed off. I need to throw something.
Damn it!
You all spent so much time worrying about each other, and thanks to that, things ended up like this. You're all full of shit. Every last one of you. Why? The biggest piece of shit is me! Damn. Why am I so weak?
Oh.
Such a downer, clearly. But still, even though we feel this way, we still gotta do our very best.
You are right.
You are right. This time around, we must move forward. We must continue to live and believe in our friends.
You are right.
Gundam will most likely crawl his way out of hell, and I presume he will be very cross with us. Aw, she's crying. You're right. We shouldn't stand here. It's not like this is over. We still have to do it. We still have to finish this. For the sake of our friends who have died, we need to finish this once and for all. Don't just stand there. Stand up and walk. Move forward. Live! If you don't, everyone who fought and died will have died in vain. We can't allow that. I don't think I was going to see us stand around chattering. Class trial's over. It's okay for you to hurry back to Jabberwock Island. The killing school trip will proceed as usual, so make sure you know that. Hold on. How much longer are you going to keep doing this? How long is he going to keep doing this? That's a good question. Is this going to continue? Now then. After feeling down for so long, I finally feel refreshed. Let's hurry back and eat some food. That mood shift is too damn fast. It's like Gundam and Nekomaru said. That's what it means to live. Yeah. Yeah, it is. She's certainly something else. Seriously, I'm starving.
Hey.
Let's go back for now and eat. And then, after we're full, let's sleep as much as we want.
Right?
And then, let's do our best again. Yeah. With this, the class trial has come to an end. Once again, we return to Jabberwock Island. The size of our group has definitely diminished. Despite that, even if this is just the rest of us, even if it was just the rest of us, we did our best to stay upbeat and have fun together. Of course, our optimism is only superficial. At that moment, we were able to forget about the dark despair looming before us. However, the only thing I was worried about was him. He wasn't there. He suddenly disappeared from our sight. Nagito? Yes. I'm definitely lucky. I never expected to obtain so many valuable things from a simple game of Russian roulette. I was able to learn the identity of our true enemy. Before everyone else, too. It's just too funny. I mean, no one could tell that I was lying. There's no way the file had just Hajime's information.
Well,
I guess they were too busy with other matters. Or maybe they've reached their limit? Regardless, I was saved. Things would get complicated if they found out. Anyway, I can't forgive this.
damn it.
This should never be forgiven. There's no way I can let this run loose. I'll be the one who stops this once and for all, even if it costs me my life.
Obvious.
For the sake of hope, I cannot ignore this.
Monokuma appeared!
Monokuma's arrived. Who summoned me?
Now then.
Thanks for coming.
What's this?
Why is it's the lonely little Nagito? And you're all alone tonight,
What's the
too.
matter?
What's up? Your face looks scary. So you can tell. Perhaps you found out who the traitor is. You know me well.
Wow.
Is what I'd like to say, but unfortunately I haven't learned that yet. I see. So even you don't know, huh? Looks like the final showdown is going to take a little more time.
Hello.
So why'd you summon me anyways? Were you finally going to confess your love? Because there's something I really need to ask you. The special prize from the final dead room. What about it? There was information about 16 people in the file I received. Isn't that weird?
Say what?
What's weird?
Don't even
There's a
know?
traitor from the Future Foundation hiding among us, right? Including that person, the total number of students would be 16, right?
Isn't that right?
This file contained documents that were created at Hope's Peak Academy.
Of course.
I just reused the stuff from the former headmaster spent a lot of time making.
But
And this file even contains information about the traitor. Was that person also a former student of Hope's Peak Academy?
Who knows?
I wonder.
hey,
Could it be? Is this your doing? Did you slip false information into the file? Were you trying to keep us from learning the traitor's identity by obtaining this information? What's wrong with that? If it's my job to heat things up, it's okay if I do something small like that, right?
well,
That's not my point.
right?
My point is, you already know who the traitor is. What's wrong with that?
You're getting all riled up.
You're splendidly correct when you say that I knew who the traitor was all along. But even though I know who it is, why do you think I ignored it on purpose? It's just like Monami was losing after losing her magic stick. The traitor's existence means absolutely nothing to me. Their existence means nothing, huh?
No.
That's just how I feel. I'm sure you guys feel somewhat different. That person is the evil Future Foundation lackey who's putting you guys through this awful stuff. It's not entirely true. I didn't really come here to fight or anything. I came here to offer my cooperation. Cooperation?
Hey,
Your purpose is to fill everyone on this island with despair. That's why you're intentionally letting the traitor do as they please. Yep. If that's the case, I might be able to cooperate somewhat too.
Right.
In exchange, I want to know who the traitor is. Interesting, very interesting.
No.
That's a big no-no. I mean, I want to make everyone in your group feel despair. That includes you too. I knew you'd say that. I just wouldn't be able to handle the sadness when you inevitably betray me later on. Just as I thought, you saw right through me.
you're right.
No matter what situation I find myself in, my core way of thinking will never change. In order to create absolute hope that shines brilliantly, stepladders such as myself and despair exist. You're right. You're a true believer in hope after all. I must say, that belief reminds me of that person for some reason. I don't know who you're talking about, but if someone as worthless as me reminds you of some other person, they must be extremely unlucky.
Like,
But you're just as unlucky, right? I mean, the fact that you're even involved in something like this. Am I? I actually think I'm very lucky.
say what?
You don't know?
Wouldn't you say that coming across this much despair is a rather rare opportunity? I can't rely on anyone on this island. That's why I have to be the one who does it. If I can eliminate despair from this island, I won't be a stepladder anymore. I'll become true hope. I'll become an existence that could even be called the ultimate hope. The two of you are alike. You definitely remind me of him.
Hey,
There's one more thing I want to ask you.
see?
Who are you waiting for on this island? Huh? Looks like I'm right again. You're definitely waiting for someone on this island. Is the person you're waiting for already on this island?
Hey,
Answer my question. If that's the case, if that person is already on this island, wouldn't that be exciting? Alright, what's the timer? 3 days left? 6? Probably 6. Oh, 5. Okay. Damn it, I was wrong on all counts. Chapter 4. Do ultimate robots dream of clockwork? End. Damn. Danganronpa. To be continued. The Hellhound Earring. I like to save my progress.
Danganronpa.
All right. So, as I said recently, I'm going to be taking a break from Danganronpa. A couple reasons. Talking this much on a regular basis, streaming like every day, and talking for a solid 3 to 4 hours every night, hurts my throat. And